Hello everybody and welcome to tonight's stream, Retro Tuesday, where we play games that are a little bit older. And this week we're playing something that is quite significantly older, in fact. We're playing an old Game Boy Color title called Azure Dreams, which was also released on PlayStation, but we're playing the GBC version of it. And I imagine this is a game that not a lot of people would be familiar with, actually. I believe that this would be something that would be a little bit different for a lot of people, which I'm certainly hoping so, because I haven't played a JRPG for a while, I realised, on my streams, and it is my favourite genre, and I do want to give people a broad cross-section of all the various things that I played growing up. This was certainly a genre I played a lot of, and my GBC got me through many years of fun, and yeah, Azure Dreams is one I do have some fond memories of. It's been a long time since I played it though, so I'm going to be a bit rusty, probably forget entirely what goes on in the game, but yeah, I think it's good fun. So we'll give people a moment or two to jump on and join us, and after that we'll get cracking with the game. Rightio, so what you just seen there is a little cutscene that runs at the very start of the game, which explains the context of it. There's not a whole lot of storytelling to this one, especially the GBC version, so don't go in there expecting a Final Fantasy 14, sorry, Final Fantasy 14, that has a lot of text, Final Fantasy 15, don't go in there expecting a kind of modern JRPG with a very in-depth story, because you're not going to get that from this. This is not really that kind of game, but yeah, it's that little introduction basically sets things up. There's this big tower in the middle of town, and that tower is full of monsters, and then on your 15th birthday you get to go and challenge the tower. It's basically as simple as that. People did start their adventuring young back in yesteryear on basically every JRPG. You started well before your 18th birthday, and in this case you're 15 when you get going. So let's get into it, shall we? Hopefully a couple of people jump on to say hello as we play along tonight. I know Tuesday night's probably not the best night to do these things, but it kind of works for me. So, Azure Dreams, Konami game. We're back when Konami was doing all kinds of crazy things, interesting things. This is one of those games that we'll probably never see revived, simply because Konami isn't really in that place anymore. And we'll jump into new game. I don't think there would be anything on continue. So we start off with a baby being born. And away to go. Like I said, this game doesn't do too much storytelling. It's very brief and kind of gets to the point in as few words as possible. So way to go is certainly a way of celebrating the birth of a child, I guess. It's a boy. He looks just like me. So this is all obviously a flashback to when the hero's story really started. And then you get to name the kid. Let's just stick with the default name. Oops. Oops, oops, oops. There we go. Pressing the wrong button. Hello, Nooka Game. Welcome to the stream. Thanks for joining. I'm glad somebody else remembers this game. I really wasn't sure. Like, I didn't know that. I don't know how popular it was back in the day, and I had no idea whether anybody would even remember this thing. So, part of the reason I wanted to play it was to show people perhaps a game that they might not have remembered or may never have heard of before. So, it's good to know that there are some people out there that remember it. Like you, I haven't played it for a very long time, so I only have the vaguest memories of this thing. So there we go. That cutscene, that flashback is done. Now we're children. This is the next stage in growing up, I guess. He's learning a life lesson, a valuable life lesson. There being the Tower of Doom, or Monster, or whatever it's called. That's our goal. There was an indie game inspired by it, was it? I don't suppose you happen to know the name of that game? I'd be interested in checking it out. A spiritual sequel to Azure Dreams. So this is a relatively lengthy cutscene for what is a game that doesn't have too much to do with narrative once it gets going, but they need to set the scene. A lot of rain in the desert town. There's a great song about a lot of rain in the desert. Since I need to distract myself by saying things, but if you know of an artist called Nick Cave, he wrote a song which is a narrative poem. Really, it's about 10 minutes long, so it's not a standard music piece by any means, but it's called The Carney, and it's all about a massive storm flood with biblical proportions that hits a carnival that travels around the outback in Australia. It's a pretty good song. I definitely recommend it. Anyway, that's got nothing to do with this game. I was just talking about rain in the desert. Dungeon Dreams, thanks for that. I'll definitely check that out. So, as we are now discovering, the boy's father went into the tower, the dungeon, as a lot of people do to challenge themselves or whatever, and he did not return. So now we are without a dad. So now he's being bullied. by the blue-haired people. So apparently blue hairs are the royalty in town. And here we go. Monster Tower, that was the name of it. I was trying to remember. So he turns 15 and he'll be able to head on into the tower to try to follow his father's footsteps, but hopefully do a bit better. There we go. Time to wake up. So, cutscene done. We should actually have control of the character about now, finally. 10-minute cutscene at the very start of the game. That's pretty long, actually. For a Game Boy Color game. They didn't generally have the kind of lengthy cutscenes. Let's just be a bit rude there. There we go. No, not yet. Still haven't got a control of the character. Fair enough. Mum doesn't want the kid to go into the tower that killed her husband. Wouldn't want to lose all my family to a dungeon either. And she's in denial that that the father's dead. Okay. Come on, let us go, let us go. Okay, so we've been told we need to try to find a familiar, an egg. Once we hatch the egg, we can have a familiar join us on our adventures. So that's important. The inside of the tower changes every time. You know what that means? Of course, that means roguelike. This is going to be a roguelike. Back when that meant something. Still going. I get a bit of fruit too. Good stuff. Right. Right. We finally got through that. We actually have control of our character now. So, here's a little desert town that we're in. I don't think we've got any cash to work with right now. Nope. We don't. Nothing to work with. Oh, we can go into this shop. And there's a person to talk to. Hello. Bit of a risk leaving a cat and a bird out in the same room. Must have that cat well trained. Yeah, that bird's not going to last much longer. Okay, so let's go up to the tower. Let's get some adventuring done if we can. Let's go in. Oh, more cutscene. There's a monster. Little blue monster. Oh, that's cute. So the guy's, the dad's monster's still around and can talk human talk. So he's a special monster. Yeah, I guess you would remember if there was just one monster that could actually talk. But unfortunately the monster doesn't remember what happened to the dad, so not much use there. Let's... Hello Diddy, welcome to the stream. I don't know if you've been on the whole time, you just missed an awful lot of cutscene. For a GBC game, we haven't done any questing just yet, and we're about 20 minutes into the stream, so a lot of setup you missed out on there, Diddy. Very important narrative exploration. It's a furry. No, this is like a pet. I can smell magic collars. That's a pretty neat ability to have. Sniff one out. Forget it, you look like you have a bad attitude. Nah, let's do that. Let's be nice to the little thing, bug, whatever it is. Okay, so now we're finally getting into the dungeon. Tower of Monstrosity, floor 1. No, this was a GBC game, Dilly. There weren't that many of those kinds of games around back in those days. Not too many. I do have one, actually, on my physical Game Boy, I think it is. But can't play that on this machine, so unfortunately, I can't play it. Okay, there we go. We finally got control. Now we're... You got a plan, have you, Diddy? Well, good luck with that. I'm sure they'll listen to you. Just send them lots of emails. It always works eventually. Yes, I will eventually play it, I'm sure. I'll have to find a way to do so. That's the problem. I can't stream PlayStation 2 games right now, Diddy. Okay. So, let's have a look at the map. So here we go. That's our map. Interesting. So like I said, this is a roguelike. Don't tread on that. Or maybe tread on that. Well, I can't stream PSP either, unfortunately, so it'll have to be the PC, and that's temperamental. I would like to go back and play older visual novels and stuff, but there really weren't many on console from the eras that I can play them. Okay, so I've got a flame orb. Good stuff. And we'll get an item. Here we go. The PS4 Chaos Child comedy spin-off, what's that? Is that like the Steins Gate dating game comedy thing that I played last year? That was pretty neat. Was it last year? Would have been last year, I think. So this is all just standard roguelike stuff they're explaining. Obviously, back in those days, not everybody played many roguelikes, so... Chaos Child Love Choo Choo. Okay, that sounds good fun. So we've equipped that, which means we can fight with it now. More standard stuff, still more roguelike-y things. Medi-herb, that's healing. So, yeah. That sounds good to me. In the Chaos Head 1, the main character gets put in a leash like a dog and his sister runs away quickly. That sounds like good fun. I'll play that. This game is awfully wordy with the tutorial stuff, but again, have to remember that not everybody was that familiar with roguelikes back in these days, so you have to forgive them the time it took to explain it. Now we've got an egg. So it has like a Pokemon collectible system going for it. Warm up. Ah, that's cute. Whoomp. Wump. Wump is born. We've got a familiar now. Let's keep him as Wump. Good old Wump. Okay. What makes PC streaming hard? I can't get the bloody system to work, can I? OBS is very touchy with the stuff that I can actually stream, so sometimes it works. I was able to stream Persona 4 Golden way back then when that game came out just a couple of weeks ago, but other times I've tried to do some PC streaming and it's just buggered up completely, so yeah. It's touchy. I basically have to try the games well before I try and stream them live, and I haven't had the time to test. There's a couple of PC games that I'd like to try. Okay, so we're still getting through all of this. Yeah, I've tried window capture. It doesn't always work the way I'd like it to. When I find the time to actually sit down and work it out, I can generally get it to work, but I don't know. It doesn't always work for me, and I can't just switch it on when I do a stream and hope for the best, so when I get a chance, I will look into doing some more PC stream. Oh, it's an enemy! Oh! I killed a womp. I feel bad now. That's a cute little enemy blob. Whoops. I've fallen asleep on a trap. I don't know what happened to my buddy. My familiar's gone. He got stuck by the AI. Okay, so that was the tutorial level done. Now hopefully things will move into... Now hopefully things will just go ahead. There we go. Oh. Conversation time. Another person in the dungeon. Oh, that guy. The bully from before. I have no idea how close I am to the end of Higurashi. I imagine that I'm getting close, pretty close. I got through a fair chunk of it over the weekend. So, yeah, I should be pretty close to finishing it. Such a bully, this gosh. Right, off goes gosh. There's a naked sprite controversy in Higurashi. I did not know about that. That would have been funny to try. What was I doing? Just gonna move this guy back since standing there doesn't seem to work for the AI. Okay, so we had another egg. What do we get this time? Oh, it's an orange whoomp. How cute. Got an orange and a blue whoomp now. Water ray, flame orb. Collecting some treasure here. True spec. Whoomp. Oh, that's the up. Because it is a roguelike, obviously the design of the levels is randomized, and sometimes you do get the opportunity to just skip a level entirely, but if you do that you won't be leveled up enough, so I'm not going to do that. I'm going to try to find some more enemies to fight. That way I get some more experience points. Well, there's a lot of enemies here. Catwomp. Oh, I got level up. Excellent. I leveled up. Level 2 now. Was that like a mistake that was just left in the game, was it? In the files, the game files. That's pretty funny. Higarashi's not bad. I have been enjoying it. It's pretty good. Some good storytelling. Good clean horror storytelling. I'm level 3 now. So the familiar doesn't do any fighting himself. He just stands there, gets hit. Good. My familiar got an experience level. Okay. So that was a nice little swarm of enemies I fought my way through. Some treasure here. Lumiseed. Red sand. Golden eye. Golden eye. Oh really? That's interesting. They had some nudity in the game. Wow. That's always going to be controversial. Okay, anyway, for anybody else listening to the stream who is wondering what the heck we're talking about, Higurashi is a visual novels, but they've been around for quite a while now. I've only just started playing them for the first time on the recommendations of lots of people, but they're pretty good, and there's a lot of them. And yeah, they've got a bit of a cult following. They're horror-themed VNs. That'd be right. That'd be just my luck. I've got heaps too far to go through. Oh, another little cutscene. Looks like we have a little cutscene at the start of... Whoa, there's a crazy man. Marzen. I guess he's a riff on Merlin. He must have been stuck in the dungeon for quite a while. Okay, what's he want? I am Merzen the Conjurer. Alright, so he's going to head off, and we'll be back in control in a second. Okay, so now we need to grab this. More items. See if any of that actually helps. So there's our whomps. I see, you can actually change the whomps around. Oh, sorry, put the collar on him. Ah, there we go. That's how you change the monster that you're carrying around, or you have following you around. Okay, so my bag is already full. There's not that many items, is there? What's that do? Halves your speed. Well, I don't want to do that. Feed for familiars. Boosts MP slightly. Let's do that. The interface in this game is pretty much as you'd expect. There we go. Conciseness isn't his greatest strength. Yeah, I got the sense of that just from the very first one, which of course is the shortest one. I did get that sense. Okay, anyway. Moving on. Got this way. What do we got? I swear it's annoying to have already filled up my bag of items. What's this do? I don't want to do that. Nope. Nope. Anyway, let's just skip on past the items then, I guess. Well, there's the exit to the next floor. So I do quite like the, oh. I do quite like the visual of this game. I only vaguely remembered it. Like I said at the start of the stream, I haven't played this in a very long time, but it's, visually it's still quite nice. I like this. I like the GBC. The aesthetics of the GBC, I really have always enjoyed it. See if I can get that to happen again. Oh, you can push. You can push the little enemies too. Alright. Head on up to the next dungeon level, I guess. Yeah, so another cutscene. This time a dude called Scale. And... yep. My specialty is disarming traps and stealing stuff. That's a good thing to admit. Who doesn't admit when they steal things? Okay, he's going to wander off now. Good stuff. We should probably check the status of all our items because... what's this do? Item locations. Let's use that. Try and clear up some space in this thing. I don't want that. Throw. Throw. Alright, anyway, so let's go find something to bop. See, these are the kinds of roguelikes I kind of miss. Like, these days, roguelike means just about anything that has random elements in it, so it's become a term that doesn't really have a useful meaning. But when I was growing up, I played a lot of roguelikes. And it was this kind of thing, always a kind of mystery dungeon style. Oops. So this guy's a bit tougher. Let's hit him with some magic. That'll get rid of him. There we go. Yeah, so I played a lot of mystery dungeon things. It was a big genre for me, and there are still mystery dungeon games that get made, but not nearly anywhere as frequently as I would like anymore. That sounds like a very good concept for a visual novel. Why don't I do that? Or is that already been done and I'd be copying someone? Because you would know. I should check with you before I do any visual novel just to make sure that I haven't already... Or if I haven't stolen an idea that's already there, because that would not be cool. Got to make sure all my work is original. It's probably a good thing that I played a Higurashi, because otherwise I'd probably try and do a Higurashi style game at some point. The storytelling style of Higurashi really does suit me. Okay, so not many enemies around. Ah, there we go, finally. It's a bit quiet there. There we go. Catawump. Catawump is annihilated. Ah, level up. My Wump also leveled up. Excellent. Oh, now it's a Catawump. So just like in Pokemon, the little monsters do evolve. What do I think of VN fans criticizing... Oh, which visual novel was that? Ah, right. Well, that wouldn't surprise me. I think a lot of people's issues with... Ooh, Fireball. I think a lot of people's issues with the visual novel genre is a kind of a aesthetic thing, really. Ouch, leave my Wump alone. Oh no, he's going to kill the Wump. Poor Wump. These things are nasty. They keep killing my Wumps. Let's use this again. Let's toast him. Now we need to get another Wump out. There we go. New Wump. Ah! Catawomp destroyed my womp. So it looked like I'm back to using the original monster. Quen? Maybe Quen. So after all of that... Oh, there's another egg there. Excellent. Oh, octopus. Which article was that? An article that said Western games would save the Princess Makeout type game. I don't think that would be the case. That's... I'm sure that it would get written up as such, but anyway, I shouldn't complain about these things. I'm gonna have to rely on that for my own visual novels. That the fact that I'm a Western guy, white guy, making them means that they're legitimate. That's my plan. I've never even heard of them. CBR. Never even heard of them. So now I've got a weird floating ball following me around. Cool. Ooh, mushroom. Angry mushroom. Mushroom, actually. Mushroom. That's the exit to the level. Uh-oh. These guys. Need to use flame orbs on them. Okay. Looks like I'm ready to move on to the next level. What's the heck? Earthquake, okay. I don't know what that means, but I got an earthquake. I really don't remember this game on pretty much any level, so I'm actually enjoying playing it through again. We'll never see another direct sequel for this series because, again, it's Konami, and Konami is not doing these things anymore. There we go. Pretty girl time. Atlee. My little boy, please step on me here. Bye-bye, pretty. Okay, so... off we go again. Doing some more exploring. Okay. A mushroom again. Kandagawa Girls. Yes, I do have a review up of Kandagawa Girls up on my website, if you want to check that out. Bye-bye, Fireball. Is it a masterpiece? No, not really. But no, it doesn't have boys in it, which is a good thing. It's not a bad little racing game. I quite enjoyed it. And it's quite pretty. Like, it's well made, I feel. It controls nicely. I haven't played that many jet ski kind of racing games in the past, but I quite enjoyed that one. Oh, I see. So these little tiles you can step on from any direction except the one direction that the arrow is pointing, so that's what those do. Can you make girl kiss girl? No, it's not that kind of game. Besides, their chests are so big that you wouldn't be able to anyway. Like, they physically would not be able to reach each other's lips. They'd just bounce off each other. My rate of I got paralyzed. That's not good when that happens. The rate I'm reading, the game will actually have its Switch released in English by the time I get around to it. And then I wish I had just bought it on the Switch, but I will get there. Okay, so looking for the exit for this little dungeon at this stage. Not finding it there. What if we go this way? There's a monster down there, so there's something to fight at least, but maybe the exit as well. Oopsie daisy. Man, that paralysis thing is deadly, it is. Look at that, lost half my life. But that's okay. I got it back. Where is this exit? The downside to roguelikes is sometimes the level design gets you good and stuck, it does. Ah, there we go. Exit found. And another one bites the dust. Level up. Kuhn's now level 4. Ah, Daggerfall, that takes me back. I often wonder if anyone actually managed to finish Daggerfall, or if the bugs just got everybody, because that game was one buggy mess. And yet we all loved it anyway. It had vision. Which is more than what Bethesda games have these days. I think the last Bethesda game I really truly enjoyed was Morrowind. Morrowind was a great piece of video game art, but... Uh-oh, I got poisoned. I need space to put... Let's just throw one of those out. Who needs 3 of them? Get rid of that. And... Bronzino. Bronzino is a sword. Let's catch this. Let's get me my sword. Bang. I've got a sword now. How good is that? And I can use the red sand. Powered up the sword. Bronzino is a magic sword now. Oblivion hater. I didn't mind Oblivion. I just didn't find it as compelling as, well, Morrowind. I thought Morrowind was just something special. But, yeah. Oblivion was alright. Skyrim was pretty bad. Saying that, I have like 4 versions of Skyrim. I had the PlayStation 3 version, the PlayStation 4, the PlayStation VR, the Nintendo Switch. I've got too many versions of Skyrim, given that I've only actually played it through once. I keep buying the bloody thing and then never actually playing it. Yeah, there's a good question. I wonder why Morrowind hasn't been released on all the modern consoles either, because it deserves to be. And it's disappointing that it hasn't. I guess it just doesn't fit with the Bethesda philosophy now. It's not AAA graphics enough anymore. There we go. Let's jump to the next stage. Making cracking progress here. Seventh floor. Oh, we've got a change of environment. Trees, shrubs. They don't do anything. Frosty. What did I get? A Florent. I have a shield now too. Hehe. Oh, that's cute. Total rip-off of Jack Frost. But cute. I mean, I think this game probably predated Persona, well, Persona and Shin Megami Tensei, so it probably isn't. It's probably more Atlas copied this game for Jack Frost, but anyway. What the heck is that? That's a weird Q-Bert. On a scale of 1 to Kirigiri, how would I rate the best girl in Katagura? I don't know. None of them have that stronger narrative to really... They're all kind of jokesy, kind of tropesy characters. So, I would say... I mean, there's a couple of idol girls which are kind of cute, because they're the only ones that don't have chests that would unbalance the jet skis. Because they never actually thought about that. Those chests are pretty... They would be hard to weight distribute. That's the way I'll put it. But yeah, there's a couple of idol girls that are pretty cute. So that'll be my favourite team. It is worth playing. It's not like we get many kind of fan servicey kart races, so that's the best way to think about it. A range of body types would do them good. Yeah, I mean, you look at what... Damn, it got slowed down. Trap. You look at what they did with with Dead or Alive. They put just one character in there that had a different body type and it suddenly became 10 times better of a game. Well, a different type of fan service. Cold War thing. Are you talking about Call of Duty? And they're people who don't learn from history or remember history are doomed to repeat it nonsense? Is that what you're talking about? The only thing I've seen of that Call of Duty game is that line where they use that people who don't remember history are doomed to repeat it. It's the that's the only line from that game trailer that I've seen so far, and I think that's absolutely appalling since Call of Duty is like guilty number one of not learning from history and completely rewriting it to suit the American aesthetic and whatever. So I've always had my issues with Call of Duty, and I feel like this new one is just an insult. It's almost like they read my opinion pieces about their game and then decided to troll me with their trailer. So yeah, not amused. America needs to take that light in the darkness nonsense and maybe reassess a little bit. Well, I mean, Call of Duty did the anti-Russian propaganda with the last one too, by attributing an American war crime to the Russians, so that's nothing new for the series. I will say, though, there is one other thing that's been happening out there on Twitter, which I might as well mention now that I'm on that track of thought. There was that tweet that was going around about how much pro-fascism or fascism adjacent or fascism friendly a lot of anime is, in their view anyway. And I do find it a little bit amusing that any anime that does that is immediately called out for supporting imperialism and fascism and whatever. But people have this massive blind spot to anything that comes out of America. Every time a Call of Duty game rolls around, I roll out there dutifully writing my pieces about propaganda and nationalism and military hero worshipism and jingoism. And I seem to be the only one that does it because all the other websites give it pretty much a free pass on it. But then the anime rolls around again and suddenly they jump on Attack on Titan or whatever for being imperialistic and whatever nationalistic. So there is a double standard there and it is not cool. I don't think it's very appropriate. And I do think that there is a lot of anime that should be criticised, but then by the same token, if we're going to criticise anime for those topics, then we need to criticise an awful lot of stuff that comes out of America for exactly the same issue. Anyway, that's me doing my rant for the night. You got me to say things, Dithy. I'm probably going to regret all of that. At some stage somebody's going to watch this stream on playback and flip out at me, and that's all your fault. These trolls are cute. To get back to the game, these trolls are cute. I like these trolls. I want to catch one. Instead I have to kill them. Going up. Trolls are cute online too. Alright, So that's a good save point at this point for the stream for the night. We got through 8 floors of this thing, as you can see. Like I said, it has a fairly lengthy cutscene at the start to set things up, but once you get going, it's very cutscene light because it is a very traditional roguelike in a lot of ways, random dungeons and just grind after grind. But it does have that monster collecting element, which is neat, and it's just a generally enjoyable game. This is what Game Boy Color JRPGs were often like back in these days, and this one is a good one. If you haven't heard of it or played it before, it is also available on PlayStation. It looks very different, of course. It uses the graphical hardware, the power of the PlayStation in a much more effective way, so it's a slightly more premium product than the Game Boy Color one, but it is good as well. And if you ever get a chance to play this, I do recommend it. It is Azure Dreams. So, on that note, we'll give things a wrap for tonight. Thanks everybody for jumping on as always. We'll be back with more stuff over the week. You can go and read my Katagawa jet ski game, whatever. Katagawa Girls, whatever it's called, I've already forgotten. You can read that review. I've got plenty more reviews coming this week. I've got all kinds of interesting things to play, to talk about, like Pathfinder, and there's an RPG Maker game, although I'm not sure if the embargo lifts on that. There's Nexomon, which is a Pokemon clone, which is looking pretty neat. I'm getting stuck into that. So there's plenty of reviews for me to come this week. And other than that, we'll be back at the end of the week for a DDNet After Dark stream on Friday night, where we'll play something a little bit edgy. We might well play the jet ski racing game just for the fan service. That might be fun. So have a good week, everybody. Thanks as always for joining, and we'll see you next time around. Buried Stars, yes, I do have a review of Buried Stars coming as well. That is an interesting game, so look forward to that review. All right, thanks everybody for being on. We will see you next time around.